All right, and we are back here on the GSMC Baseball Podcast. And for the third part of the show, we're going to talk about Seattle's big win over the Astros last night, 6-2. I wrote in the description it was 5-1, but that was the score from the other night, so I'll have to change that once we wrap up here. But yeah, that's because I think it was 5-1 at one point, but then the Mariners, they tacked on a run in the bottom of the eighth. Astros got a run in the ninth, so it ended up being 6-2. So it was 5-1 for most of the game, but yeah, there were two more runs that were scored after that. So just a minor fix. We'll have to fix that. So, but yeah, Seattle, they got a huge win against the Astros. They get themselves back to their winning ways after a rough stretch for them, getting swept by the Rangers, and obviously losing the first game against the Astros on Monday. So right now they're a half game back for that third wild card spot, and yeah, the Astros are 3-7 in their last 10 games. And going into the game last night, I did talk about how Christian Javier hasn't been pitching well as of late. And he ended up getting the loss, and his record dropped to 9-5 with a 4.67 ERA. George Kirby ended up picking up the win, and he pitched very well. So we'll go through the box score. Javier pitched 4 2/3, 3 earned runs, 3 hits, 3 walks, 6 strikeouts. And then for George Kirby, he went 6 innings, 5 hits, no runs, 1 walk, 4 strikeouts. So he pitched very well. He picked up his 12th win on the season. And for the scoring summary, Josh Rojas, there was a throwing error that led to a run being scored. Julio Rodriguez had a sac fly to make it 2-0. Raleigh singled to make it 4-0. So that was a two-run single. Teoscar Hernandez singled to make it 5-0. And then the Astros, they got their first run in the top of the 7th. John Singleton, he hit a sacrifice fly. It was 5-1, and then Ty France homered his 11th homer on the season to make it 6-1, and then Altuve hit a single in the 9th. And that was the final score. So, again, the question, are the Astros in trouble? Yeah, they are. I mean, they're going to be in trouble until they definitely make the playoffs because, after this, again, they play the Diamondbacks who, they're still fighting for their playoff lives and trying to hold on to the second wild card spot in the National League. So, that's going to be tough. I mean, and the Astros, both teams are going to finish. The Mariners and the Astros are both going to have, less than 90 wins, I think. The Astros are not going to, I don't think the Astros are winning out. So, tonight is this is the rubber game now. So, if Mariners win, Astros are on the outside looking in. So, this is an important game for both teams. And on top of that, you have the Rangers, who are in the driver's seat to win the division. Magic number is 3. They did lose last night to the Angels. So, that's something to keep an eye on. So, let's go to that score really quick. So, the Rangers lost 9-3 last night to the Angels. We'll go through the scoring summary there. So the Rangers were up 1-0. Brandon Drury hit a 3-run home run, his 24th home run on the season to make it 3-1 Angels. Eduardo Escobar, I forgot he was on the Angels. Escobar grounded out to make it 4-1. Run scored on that. Zach Neto, he had a sac fly, make it 5-1. A wild pitch led to the Angels getting another run to make it 6-1. Randall Grichuk scored on that. Escobar had another ground out that led to a run being scored to make it 7-1. Stefanik, he singled to make it 9-1. It was a 2-run single. And then Josh Smith homered in the top of the 9th, and that was the final score, 9-3. So yeah, Rangers again. Against an Angels team that's not basically, but is out of it. No Ohtani, no Trout. Yeah, it's that was not a loss they wanted to have to deal with. But again, they still, with both teams losing. Well, not both teams. With the Astros losing, it's down to 3 right now, the magic number. So Yeah, I mean, they're still in the driver's seat, and they are going to get it because right now the Astros. I mean, yeah, Verlander pitched very well, but they got swept by the Royals. They lost last night. Offense really didn't do anything. So yeah, it's not looking good right now for the defending champs. And I mean, they missed the playoffs. That's going to be a huge disappointment for them and their fan base. So, also a quick note on the Angels. So they were talking to Mike Trout, because obviously he's not playing for the rest of the year. And just listening to the interview, he was very emotional about it. Dealing with injury. How he's been dealing with injuries lately. It's just it's really sad because again, that's another player I've grown up watching. Was the best player in baseball, and when he's healthy, he still is. It's just, I mean, it really stinks because he was healthy for a long time, and then all of a sudden injuries have just kind of, have hurt his seasons as of late. So, I'm hoping that he can come back and hopefully first I want him to go to a different team and hopefully he could stay healthy. But, once injuries start happening constantly, it's, they're hard to shake off and they just continue to linger for the rest of, playing career. I mean, we've seen that countless times with many players in sports. So, so hopefully for Trout, he's able to, battle through this, come back next year and be able to play to the best of his ability and stay on the field. So, but yeah, that's just it's one thing that just really just stinks is seeing him like that, being emotional about it. So, but yeah, that's just something I forgot to mention. So the Twins, they won 11-3 over the A's. I mean, they already got the division, but again, so right now the Twins are 84-73. The Rangers are 88-69. Yeah, they got the third seed, but you never know. The Rays, they picked up a win against the Red Sox. I said it could be a tough game. You never know. They were up 7-0, and then the Red Sox, they put up 3 runs in the 5th, 2 in the 6th, 1 in the 7th, and wow, my dog just slammed against my door there. That scared me. So they were up 7-6, but then they got 2 more runs in the top of the 8th. And then the Red Sox, they got 1 in the bottom of the 8th. So the final score ended up being 9-7. But yeah, it was very close. But that's what I mean, though. Like that's still going to be a tough series for the Rays. The Red Sox, they got a good lineup. But that was a big win for the Rays. The Orioles did win 1-0. So right now the magic number in the American League East is 3. So the Orioles I think are going to win the division, barring a collapse again, like I keep saying with a lot of these teams, because you just never know. So, but the last important score that I want to get into is the Yankees and the Blue Jays. So yesterday, I watched the game. Obviously the Blue Jays they have the second wild card spot, and I think they're going to end up with that. They ended up losing 2-0 to the Yankees, who, by the way, sat Aaron Judge. Aaron Judge was not in the lineup yesterday. So, the Yankees got the 2 runs. It was in the 9th inning, I believe. Yeah, it was in the 9th inning. 2-run home run off of Romano, their closer. Austin Wells hit that. And the Yankees ended up winning 2-0. Clay Holmes picked up his 23rd save on the season. And yeah, that was a big loss for the Blue Jays. And this is what and I've mentioned this before with the Blue Jays. In big moments, they just they falter. And yesterday was a prime example of that. You're playing against the Yankees, who have nothing to play for right now. And Aaron Judge is not in the lineup. And you end up losing the game. 2-0. You didn't get any runs. Michael King pitched very well for the Yankees. And the Blue Jays got very good pitching too as well. But, I mean, what are the Blue Jays doing? like, how do you lose this game? So yeah, we'll look at the box score very quickly. So Michael King, he went 6 innings, 1 hit, 5 walks, 5 strikeouts. The last time he faced the Blue Jays, I mean, he had 13 strikeouts. Johnny Brito's actually been very good in relief. 2 innings, 1 hit, 1 walk, 1 strikeout. He's got a 4.33 ERA on the season. Clay Holmes, like I said, his 23rd save. But yeah, the Blue Jays got good pitching. Gausman, 7 innings, 3 hits, 2 walks, 5 strikeouts. And Romano got the loss. Yeah, I mean, and you got all your guys back. Guerrero was playing. I mean, the strike zone, he was very upset about the strike zone because his 2 strikeouts were on pitches that the whole crowd was booing at. But yeah, I mean, they had their whole lineup was basically healthy. They got pretty much everybody back. It's just they just couldn't get anything done yesterday. So I mean, there's still a game and a half up on the Astros. So, but the thing is now tonight you have Garrett Cole, and it just they could lose that game. That's why yesterday it's important to get that because Garrett Cole's gonna win the Cy Young, and it's gonna be hard to get runs against him. So, I don't know. The Blue Jays, I don't know. I really don't understand the Blue Jays. I just don't get it. But this is what they do, though. This is what they do. And, now you're going up against the Cy Young. And, yeah, it's going to be a tough game. You got Barrios on the mound. But maybe they come back and win tonight. You never know. I'm looking forward to Garrett Cole's start because, this could be this is his last start of the season. And obviously you want him to go out on a high note. And, he's going to win the Cy Young. It's just, again, unfortunate that it comes in a year where the Yankees weren't very good. But he was one of the few bright spots when it came to, the Yankee season. And, I appreciate that he was able to take the ball every 5th day and just go out there and pitch. With everything going on with the Yankees, it just, But yeah, that's pretty much it with this segment. Obviously, again, big loss for the Blue Jays. And, for them, hopefully they get back on the right, well, for their fans' sake. I mean, obviously the Yankees have been playing spoiler as of late, taking 2 out of 3 from the Diamondbacks and now taking the first game against the Rays with Garrett Cole on the mound tonight. So, yeah, so we're just going to have to wait and see what happens tonight, and that will lead us into the final segment of the show when we come back from our final break, which is previewing the games for tonight on both the National League side of things and the American League side of things. But again, I just want to remind you guys to get your comments recognized and to donate for donations and tips. Make sure to go to streamelements.com/gsmcsportsnetwork./tip. Again, that really helps out the show. And then also for bonus coverage materials that are not covered in this live show, go to patreon.com and search up GSMC Sports Network. So, yeah, we're going to take our final break of the show, and then when we come back, I will preview the games for tonight. So stick around, and we'll be right back here on the GSMC Baseball Podcast.